honey, help, hurry up. Oh my gracious. On any given day of the week, I might hear this cry. And I run upstairs at breakneck speed only to find a small beetle in the corner. And I'm looking at my wife like, are you serious? But it leads me to a question for our time today. What makes some people stress over small stuff and other people see it as an opportunity to conquer, to win? I thought about this. My wife comes from an environment where she's an indoor woman. I mean, she may have never seen a bug. Everything was, polished, and she lived in a lot of comfort. You know what I'm saying? I love my wife, but she's definitely high maintenance. On the other hand, I come from an environment where a roach or a mouse might be considered an extended part of the family. For those who can relate, you know where I'm coming from. But the point is the difference between those who freak out and those who seize an opportunity is how they see the problem. And today I want to talk to you about how to profit from this pandemic. This is a problem. 40 million people have applied for unemployment. It's painful. It's hard. These are tight times. And then I came across an article that talked about how billionaires increased their net worth by $500 billion during the pandemic. So it had me thinking, how is it that on one hand, you have people that are looking for employment, and on the other hand, billionaires are increasing? I mean, that's sick. I mean, that's another level. That may almost make you mad. Billionaires have increased their net worth by $500 billion. There are two groups of people when faced with a problem or a crisis. There are those who tap out, and there are those who are tapped out, and there are those who cash in. And let me preface what I mean by profiting, because it's not just about cash, but profiting really is all about not missing a golden opportunity to grow despite your circumstances. There's a story about a lockdown of God's people. In the book of Daniel, God's people are taken captive by a king named Nebuchadnezzar. They're taken to a land called Babylon. And the king wants to increase his riches by taking the people he captured, the best of the captives, and training them to get more out of their lives and enrich his kingdom. So here's the setup. He sends out a talent search and a management team to pick the best of the best. They find 4 Hebrew boys, and along with others, they take them through an intensive training program. They learn the culture, they learn the language. He puts them on a special diet, and after 3 years, he invests in them. He's expecting them to serve in his kingdom. And so Daniel reaches out to the management team. Here is somebody who is in a lockdown, who is dealing with some difficult circumstances, and he tells the management team, I'm not eating the king's food. The manager says to Daniel in Daniel chapter 1, verse 10, I'm afraid of the Lord my king, who has ordered you to eat this food and wine. If you become pale and thin compared to the other youth your age, I'm afraid that the king will have me beheaded. Do y'all see the setup? Here it is. Circumstances, things, resources are already tight. Daniel steps out of line and he challenges the management team about the diet he wants to be on. So he tells the manager, he says, test me for 10 days. After 10 days, his skin looks better. He's sharper, smarter, and healthier than all. He and his boys blow away the competition. And so the management team is all in. And as the story goes, at the end of 3 years, Daniel is promoted into the king's court. Here's what I want you to see in the story. Number one, when you're in a pandemic or a panic or a problem, however you want to look at it, don't be afraid to think outside of the box and do things differently. I tell my son all the time, if you do what everybody else does, then you'll get what everybody else has. Look for what God has uniquely put in you and be willing to try something different. Well, what if we fail? But what if you succeed? Sometimes it just takes you looking at the problem, as I did, and that's just a little bug. I'm a lot bigger. It's not really a threat. And even if I was scared, I ain't going to show my wife. I'm going to conquer this. It's just a perspective. My wife, on the other hand, shuts down, hides in the closet, jumps on chairs, and screams. It's all about how you see it. Daniel didn't just see his lockdown. He didn't just see that he had to be under Nebuchadnezzar's rule. He saw it as an opportunity to position himself to do great things with his talent. Don't be afraid to do differently. Challenge yourself to look at your problem with a different lens. What do you mean? Here's how you profit. I just want to give you some steps. Number one, look for a passion to meet a need. That's where a lot of us miss opportunity. If there is a problem, you ain't the only one that has it. Ask God, begin to look and say, what unique talents has God already put in me to be a solution to the problem that we all see? Passion for the problem. I gotta have a passion for the problem. Daniel then prepared. During this season, when we're indoors a lot, this is a time to pick up a book. This is time to watch some videos. Prepare for the opportunity. Develop your skill in the area that God has already given you a passion. So if it's teaching, how can I be a better teacher? If it's cooking, how do I go to Udemy or one of these master courses and learn how to cook even better? Then Daniel passed the test. He says, let's test this for 10 days. Can I help you out? I want to mitigate some risk. Yes, it's risky. You have a passion for a problem, and now you're in school, and you listen. Don't stay in school forever. Step out and test it. Listen, before you open up a barbershop, cut one head. Before you open up a bakery, fix one recipe. Test it out and see what the market feels about what service you're providing. And if you're off, come back and fine tune it. This is maybe I didn't quite get the need right. Tweak it and then offer it again until you know you're offering a service or a good or a product that's really meeting a need. Test it. The last is just time for you to profit. That's the part that you wanted to get to anyway. You don't have to worry about your money. You don't even have to worry about promotion. At the end of 3 years, the fruit of Daniel having a passion to solve a problem, preparing himself to develop a skill, and then taking and testing, passing a test, put him in position to be promoted. The profit or the money is a byproduct of those 3 steps that I just mentioned. And so I want to say to you that no matter how bad things may be, and I want to be sensitive because all of us may be facing the crunch. And when you're under pressure, you can't think straight. It's just panic about bills and how am I going to pay this? And what about my retirement? And when will things turn around? And I'm saying to you that if your focus is on that, you may miss a golden opportunity to profit at a time that most people may not even be thinking about it. Remember, there's 2 groups, those who are tapped out and those who cash in. I hope this helped you, and I want to give you some questions just to walk away with. What opportunity is God preparing you for right now? What idea have you been given that you need to test? We call that proof of concept. You got the idea. You've been sitting on it. Stop waiting until you have everything to get moving. Don't worry always about the business plan. Sometimes you can do a test with a cost-effective way of going about it. Also, begin to ask yourself, what kind of training do I need to be my best? So I want you to go back and look at these questions, think about it. And here's what I'm excited about, that over a course of time, I'm expecting to see you both promoted, and I want to see you profit in the midst of this pandemic. God bless. Thank you for tuning in. and I'll see you next week.